Chiquinha, Chiquinha.
Go check out the room.
Chiquinha.
Okay, I'm the content creator for this channel. If you like what I'm doing, just subscribe.
And hit the like button. Reaction video to what I'm seeing in Macau. This is a 1950 video of somebody visiting Macau. And right now it's 2019. I've been here since 2013. I've been here about 6.5 years. So this is something from almost 70 years ago. And I'll just kind of comment about what I see. Okay, so it's somebody from Hong Kong. Dutch hockey team, okay. It's kind of interesting because you don't really think about a Dutch hockey team living in Hong Kong. You know, like you think different stuff, but that's one thing I wouldn't have thought about is a Dutch hockey team. So, okay, so they come across and they're on this kind of big ferry. It's also interesting too because Japan, or Macau, was occupied by the Japanese around 1940s World War II area. So 1950 is not long afterwards, and suddenly it's all open for tourism again. This is the harbor. This is like now all the ferries come in at a different side, but this side is kind of the oh, it's interesting. There's a big church here. Like now there's all these buildings all up inside the hill. So now when you walk up, you're kind of like in a cavern of buildings, trying to get up to this big church right up here. But yeah, right now it's like the whole landscape is like, it looks like there's like almost only trees and definitely no houses or anything like that. But there is a road that goes up here. I mean, even now, but it's just surrounded by buildings everywhere. The boats are all gone. There's some boats that go between, but they don't like dock in Macau like that. There's some kind of waterway rights or something like that, you know, it's hard to take a boat out in Macau, basically. I think you can do it from the China side and kind of hover in between the two, but I don't think you can park anywhere like that, like they would have done in 1950. Okay, that must be the Dutch hockey team. All right. All right. Well, it's hard to even imagine where that field might be now. Probably buildings built up all around it, but maybe somebody else might know who's watching this video and they can comment about it. Okay, this is kind of interesting. This particular road now, it's like this used to be kind of more of a waterfront, and it's still the same actually, but there's very few tourists. But I think in the past people would walk around like this where the boats would come in. They would walk around the peninsula. So the peninsula is kind of it kind of comes down. And I think they would walk around it, but now the boats don't come in there anymore, so tourism doesn't really arrive at that spot. You know, it comes in more in these different two other ferries terminals that are on opposite sides of the city. But I think a lot of times I see these old pictures and they go around this area, but this is like still just quiet because you know, I think the tourists don't really think about it. And there's a road right where these people are walking. There's a road now, so you're kind of confined to this narrow sidewalk right next to the trees, and so it's a little bit, it's not so easy to walk on it actually. I mean, you can if you're by yourself, but if you're with a friend or two, you can't just walk down the middle of the road like they're doing right there. Okay, so that's a view to, yeah, actually it's funny, those hills look so empty, but now all these hills have buildings all over them. So that's that same walkway. That's still kind of the same, actually. There's still park benches that overlook that. And now this almost looks like sand right here. But now these are all just rocks. I mean, maybe those are rocks there too, and I can't tell very well. But now they're just basically rocks. Yeah, they almost look like sand. I don't know if they are or not. Okay, this is interesting. So there's people are walking in the middle of this road too. But yeah, now you're just kind of walking on this sidewalk part, like to the left, right where the trees are at. So the trees are basically planted on the sidewalk, and you have to kind of navigate around and those trees are pretty big now. Like those are already big in 1950, but I'm assuming those must be a lot of the same trees. So those ones on the left look more like the ones on the right now. Okay, that one is, oh, this is funny. This is where Senado Square is at, but now this is like just it's all black and white tiles and it's all pedestrian friendly. And I think I've seen old photos and they would drive cars up and down this road, and but now there's no vehicles that are allowed on this road anymore. It's just very, very heavily tourist and very, very beautiful, well painted, really spectacular. But it's funny because I just assumed it probably always looked spectacular like that, but actually it looks more like just a street in this one. But now it's really, really beautiful. They put lights up around and there's like little stuff in the middle, like kind of like not Christmas lights, but something kind of similar, like lights that kind of light up the whole area. Okay, I think this is kind of near. This is the area that goes from Senado Square down to where Lisboa would be at now. I'm pretty sure that's that street, anyways. It's in the same vicinity, anyways. Okay. Well, the architecture that hasn't changed too much. Okay. Entrance for the Dance Central Entertainment Company. One dance only, okay. Ticket to dance. Alright. Okay, this looks like it's like selling some kind of product. I don't know if that's dried squid, I'm not sure exactly. Harbor, lots of boats in the harbor. More boats. I think that was pretty common at that time. Yeah, it's kind of amazing how empty the hills look compared to now. Okay, anyway, so that's Macau. I hope you enjoyed this one. Yeah, some kind of interesting somebody's trip at that time. So it kind of gives you a chance to see kind of what it looked like. And yeah, some of this is still there. I think a lot of the old photos definitely have this one. I think a lot of people just walk around this whole peninsula and go along that. Now almost never. Now it's mostly casinos and Senado Square and like a lot of these kind of Portuguese areas. And anyways, I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll try to do some more in the future too.
Chiquinha, Chiquinha.